Selena Gomez, famous for her music, acting, and her openness about mental health, is suddenly making headlines, but not for a new song or show. This time, the attention is on a company she helped start, and the news isn't good. Workers have come forward complaining about unpaid wages, layoffs, and overall chaos within the company. With her mother running it as CEO, all eyes are on Selena. But what actually went wrong? Was it poor management, bad timing, or something else entirely? In the next few minutes, we'll dive into the story of Wondermine, from its hopeful beginnings to the financial struggles and controversies that left fans and employees wondering, how did this all fall apart? Wondermine began in 2021 as a media startup focused on mental health. Selena Gomez, her mother, Mandy, and entrepreneur Daniela Pearson co-founded the company. On paper, it looked like a perfect idea, a space that would challenge the stigma around mental health while offering podcasts, essays, interviews, and other content aimed at helping people feel understood and supported. Selena, who has shared her own struggles with anxiety and depression over the years, wanted Wondermine to be more than just a business. She envisioned it as a safe, trustworthy place where people could find resources and guidance for mental wellness. The concept struck a chord with investors, and they raised $5 million, giving the company a valuation of around $100 million. For fans, it seemed like the ideal combination of Selena's influence and her passion for mental health. The company promised honest conversations, real-life stories, and expert advice through podcasts and articles that could make mental wellness more approachable. Selena and Mandy often mentioned that the idea came from personal talks about loneliness, therapy, and the challenges people face when seeking help. It began as a personal mission, but quickly became a high-profile business venture. And for a while, it looked like Wondermine could genuinely make a difference. In its early stages, Wondermine grabbed attention with its fresh approach. The podcasts, essays, and interviews were designed to normalize conversations about mental health and give people practical tools for coping. Fans and media alike praised it as an innovative platform, and the excitement seemed to grow every day. It looked like Selena's personal story, combined with her public influence, could create a space that really helped people. Investors were hopeful too. With the $5 million funding round and the $100 million valuation, Wondermine wasn't just another celebrity project. It was seen as a serious effort to make an impact in mental health. The content felt genuine, coming from real discussions between mothers and daughters about loneliness, therapy, and mental health access. For a while, everything appeared to be moving in the right direction. The team believed deeply in the mission and felt like they were contributing to something meaningful. But behind the scenes, problems were quietly emerging. Internal disagreements and mounting pressure hinted that even the best intentions might not be enough to keep the company stable. And soon, those small cracks would turn into bigger issues that would shape the future of Wondermine. By 2023, the first major signs of trouble became clear. Mandy Gomez became the sole CEO after co-founder Daniela Pearson left the company. The reasons for her departure remain unclear, but insiders suggest that it coincided with the start of serious financial struggles. Some employees said Mandy didn't have the experience needed to run a fast-growing startup, and that certain decisions she made worsened the situation. A major point of contention reportedly involved high-value brand deals. Employees claimed Mandy rejected several big opportunities, like a multi-million-dollar partnership with Airbnb, if Selena wasn't personally involved. Missing out on these deals put additional strain on a company that was already spending a lot of money quickly. On the other hand, Mandy's team argued that these reports didn't tell the full story, saying outsiders didn't see the behind-the-scenes negotiations. Meanwhile, Selena remained the public face of Wondermine, but her involvement in daily operations was limited. Reports suggest she rarely met with staff and focused mostly on her own projects. This gap between the company's lofty goals and the reality on the ground began to affect employee morale. People who had once been inspired by Wondermine started feeling uncertain, frustrated, and anxious about what the future held. Then came the first real blow for employees. They weren't getting paid. The financial strain quickly became a full-blown crisis. By March 31, 2025, some employees hadn't received their paychecks for the second half of the month. On top of that, health benefits, including dental and vision coverage, were cut 2 weeks earlier. The news caused immediate panic among staff, many of whom relied on these payments and benefits to support themselves and their families. Anxiety and distrust started spreading among the team, and what had once felt like an inspiring workplace now felt unstable and unpredictable. Mandy tried to address the turmoil by sending an email to the team, explaining that the pay delays were due to a late investor contribution and promising that funds were on the way. Staff were asked to temporarily switch to COBRA coverage, which meant paying both their own portion and the company's share of health premiums, with the assurance they would be reimbursed once the next round of funding arrived. Even with these explanations, repeated delays and broken promises only heightened stress and frustration among employees. Things got worse when layoffs began. Reports from Forbes indicate that nearly 2/3 of the Wondermind staff were let go, leaving just 4 employees behind. What had once seemed like a promising, high-profile startup now felt unstable and uncertain. Confidence in leadership began to erode, with employees questioning not only the company's decisions, but also their own financial security. Amid the layoffs and financial uncertainty, many staff members also looked to Selena, wondering why the co-founder wasn't stepping in to help. By the end of April 2025, employees still hadn't received full payments, and frustration was mounting. In an effort to keep the company afloat, Mandy reportedly took out a personal loan against her home to cover debts. While this move showed her commitment, it didn't immediately solve payroll issues, and wire transfer delays meant staff had to wait even longer, fueling more anxiety. Inside the company, the remaining employees described an atmosphere of panic. Trust in leadership was dwindling, and promises of incoming investments felt increasingly hollow. Plans for new projects, including initiatives tied to Mental Health Awareness Month, were either put on hold or canceled entirely. Investors also criticized Wondermind for its lack of measurable engagement with audiences, adding more pressure and leaving employees caught between financial instability and leadership missteps. The crisis wasn't just about money, it was also about confidence. Staff began to wonder whether Wondermind could survive at all, and whether the vision of a meaningful mental health platform was ever going to become a reality. At the same time, questions about Selena's involvement were growing louder. Fans and employees alike were asking how hands-on she really was, and whether her presence or absence could have changed the outcome. Officially, Selena holds the title of Chief Impact Officer, but she hasn't been involved in daily operations. Forbes reported that in the 3 years since Wondermind was founded, she only met with staff once and rarely participated in promotional activities. Some employees viewed this as a lack of support, wondering why a co-founder with so much influence wasn't stepping up during a crisis. However, the full picture is more nuanced. People magazine later reported that Selena acted as soon as she learned about the company's financial troubles. She invested millions of her own money to support Wondermind's future and continued backing her mother's leadership, even if she wasn't directly managing daily operations. These investments were intended to keep the company running and uphold its mission, rather than to handle the day-to-day business. This contrast between public perception and reality created tension. Online, Selena faced criticism for not doing enough, while insiders stressed that she was consistently contributing financially to keep Wondermind alive. Her role may not have been highly visible, but her support behind the scenes was significant. Still, employees struggling with unpaid wages and layoffs saw her name as a focal point of frustration, even if the full story was more complex than the headlines suggested. Looking at Wondermind's collapse, it's clear there isn't one single cause. A mix of factors created the current chaos. Financial mismanagement, missed business opportunities, and internal disagreements all played a part. Some employees blamed Mandy's decisions, such as rejecting big brand deals, while others pointed to low engagement from audiences and the difficulty of meeting the company's high expectations. Investor delays also worsened the situation. Funding meant to cover payroll and new projects didn't arrive on time, leaving employees in uncertainty. Even promises of Series B investments totaling $20–30 million were delayed, causing further frustration. For a company built around mental health, the gap between its mission and operational reality became painfully obvious. Selena's involvement added another layer of complexity. Her name and reputation are closely tied to Wondermind, so when problems emerged, she naturally became part of the conversation. Social media reactions and online debates amplified the pressure, making it hard to separate celebrity influence from actual business management. Ultimately, Wondermind's story shows how difficult it can be to launch a high-profile startup, especially when it's tied to a celebrity and a socially conscious mission. Ambition, good intentions, and public interest aren't enough to guarantee smooth operations or financial stability. The company began as a bold vision, combining Selena Gomez's influence with a mission to break mental health stigmas and provide a space for honest conversations. Early success, millions in funding, and a $100 million valuation made it feel like a project that could genuinely make an impact. But over time, financial mistakes, leadership changes, and operational challenges turned that promise into a complicated mess. Employees faced unpaid wages, canceled benefits, and massive layoffs, while public scrutiny and online debates added extra pressure. Selena's involvement, though significant in terms of funding, was limited in day-to-day management, leaving some to question her role in the company's struggles. Yet, the reality behind the headlines is more nuanced. Money was invested, efforts were made to stabilize the company, and the mission remains alive in intent, even if execution fell short. Wondermine's story is a reminder that even the best-intentioned ventures, especially those linked to celebrity names, can face unexpected challenges. Passion, ambition, and public goodwill can only go so far when finances, operations, and communication break down. So, what went wrong? Could Wondermine have avoided this crisis, or was it simply a perfect storm of ambition and mismanagement? The story isn't finished yet, and the answers may surprise you.